Good morning, all. This is the morning after show, the morning after the night before, early morning here. Just had me a morning cup of tea. Sobering result, sobering performance in many ways last night. Newcastle got their annual painful defeat at Anfield. Liverpool 4, Newcastle United 1. I look tired, got bags under my eyes, but there we go. We move. Right, so starting lineup was a surprise. Bruno was in the squad for PSG. Was not in the squad last night, which is a concern. But Nick Pope, Lewis Hall, Kieran Trippier as fullbacks. Dan Burn and Malik Thiaw. Now, I expected Dan Burn to start in centre-back. I was hoping it would be Burn and Botman. Nothing against Malik Thiaw at all. He's been excellent since he signed for us, but he's played 30-odd games on the bounce. New team, new league, new language. So I was thinking, right, it's with Burn back fit now, this isn't, and all three of them fit, it's an ideal time to give Malik Thiaw a rest. But Botman was rested. We thought, but it's since come out that he had a bit of a thigh issue, a bit of a thigh niggle, which is a worry, because Sven Botman, as we know, as good as he is, outside please, as good as he is, he does have his injury problems. So hopefully this is not the start of something new, because he's been banging form recently. I thought he was excellent at Paris, excellent in the games previous. But that was the back four. The midfield three, I thought, right, Joelinton's injured, Bruno won't start. I was expecting Tonali, Willock maybe. Tonali, Willock or Ramsey and Miley. But it was Tonali, Willock and Ramsey. Then a front three of Anthony Elanga starting on the right. Harvey Barnes on the left. And the goal-scoring machine whenever he plays striker, Anthony Gordon. However, it turned on its head because he did score last night from open play. Newcastle, I thought we started really well. I thought for the vast majority of the first half, we were the better team. At 0-0, we hit the post. Harvey Barnes, nice little free kick routine. Lewis Hall stepped over it. Trippier laid it off for Barnes and he thwacked it against the post. I was fully expecting Kieran Trippier over the wall, praying for a top corner repeat performance of that goal against Man City, which feels like it was 10 years ago now, but it was what? 3? 4 perhaps. Unlucky there. Then we have a goal, sort of something of nothing really. It works its way. I think Harvey Barnes dribbles, lays it off, and Anthony Gordon, I thought there's no chance he's beaten Alisson from there, from that angle out on the right hand side, but he times it perfectly, gets a great connection. It goes through Kirkes' legs as he's diving in to block it, and Alisson doesn't have a chance. Great finish, fantastic. And then, as it always does against Liverpool, it seems, it's either a last-minute goal or an injustice of some description, or sucker punches followed. The Núñez double against us at St James's Park a couple of seasons ago comes to mind. Hugo Ekitike is looking sharp. Oh God, he looked a world-class player last night. Looking sharp. Florian Wirtz manages to meander his way into the box unchecked, unchallenged, and squares it across, and Hugo Ekitike is there to poke it in. And you think, oh God, here we go. I think that was 36 minutes or something like that. Might have been 34 minutes. We continue to play well. We're pressing high. We're showing no fear. Lewis Hall is having a great game. Him and Harvey Barnes are striking up a great partnership on that left-hand side. And then comes the sucker punch. It's a long ball. Kieran Trippier slips at one point and it's played through. And who was it? I think it might have been. I think Trippier got back to sort Ekitike out. But anyway, in this occasion, it's played over the top or a long ball forward. And Hugo Ekitike has the freedom of the left-hand side of the Anfield pitch, it seems. Malik Thiaw gives him far too much space, far too much good of an angle. And he toe pokes it past Nick Pope into the bottom right-hand corner. Fantastic finish. Malik Thiaw's at fault for that, in my opinion, but there's a bigger problem in defence, which is an easy fix, I think. But I'll get to that shortly. Hugo Ekitike, it's that kick in the teeth because he give it big licks when he come off. He clearly has a problem with his Newcastle United fans, which is ironic because we tried to sign him twice. People, they talk about us trying to sign him in the summer from Frankfurt, which was a deal that was easy to be done. I don't know why Liverpool then wanted our first choice striker and then signed our replacement first and then got our first choice striker. To me, Liverpool glad they did because Ekitike is a hell of a player. But it would have been make sense for them to say, yeah, you have Ekitike and we'll come and get Isak because they're like for like. But there we go. But we also tried to sign him in Eddie's first window. The window we signed Kieran Trippier, Dan Burn, Chris Wood, Bruno Guimaraes, Matt Target on loan. I feel like I'm forgetting someone. But anyway, the deal was done between us and Rem. I think it was about 30 million quid, 35 million euro maybe. And Ekitike chose PSG as a 19-year-old. You can't blame him as a French lad, but people forget about that. But that's 3 goals in 2 games, and he's turned us down twice, so he clearly has a problem with us. And that was on 43 minutes, right before half-time. Sucker punch. And that really was as good as it got, to be honest. My brother's a big Liverpool fan. I was speaking to him at half-time. I said, look, I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool score a few more now. I just had that feel about it. We do not turn up for an entire 90-minute performance at Anfield. We just don't. I don't know why. And the second half, it just got worse and worse. We were not in it at all second half. I thought, by and large, despite being 2 goals to 1 down, I thought by and large we were the best team in the first half. I was really pleased and buoyed by that first half performance. I thought, especially if we've got no striker, we've got no Sven Botman, no Bruno, no Joe Linton, no Voltemade, no Wissa. I mean, Voltemade and Wissa were on the bench available, but those star players, if you like, none of them on the pitch. I thought, yeah, we could compete well. For the first 20 minutes, we really went after them, showed no respect to the Anfield crowd, or to the Anfield arena, to the stadium, the intimidating atmosphere that is Anfield, or can be. Showed no respect to that. We went toe-to-toe and we played really well. And then Liverpool started to get into it more and more. Wirtz and Ekitike were exceptional, but I really thought, excuse me, Gravenberch was excellent. I think Konate will get the plaudits because of the circumstances surrounding him scoring a goal, and fair play. You know, that must have meant a lot to him considering what's happened with his father recently. But I thought Gravenberch was exceptional in that midfield. McAllister didn't bother me, but Gravenberch was really, really good. And the second half, it just got worse and worse. They took over. We didn't lay a glove on them in the second half. The 2 strikers came on at the same time. At one point, we had 3. We started the game with no strikers. Then we had 3. Because Voltemade and Wissa come on together. And then Osula came on later in the game. But Voltemade and Wissa, they may as well have not been playing, to be honest. I thought that they just did not affect the game in any way, shape or form when they came on. Voltemade, bless him, looks lost, looks devoid of confidence. Wissa still looks like he's playing injured. I don't know. But Liverpool showed that I've got better players than us. Despite them being served up on a plate to us, really, because we are never going to have a better opportunity of beating Liverpool at Anfield than this season, because they have been, by their own standards, rubbish, really. You know, that they failed to beat Burnley, Leeds, and I forget the 13 they failed to beat at home. But this is the frustration as a Newcastle United fan. It's happened numerous times in my time supporting the club, dozens of times. But whenever a bigger team, is on a shit vein of form or in need of a bit of luck, we go, here you are, have it, take it. I remember Manchester United in the COVID season. I forget whether it was at St James's Park or whether it was at Old Trafford, but we played them. We took the lead. I want to say Emil Kraft or Javier Manquillo scored. No, I think it was Emil Kraft. Because Manquillo was when in Ronaldo's first game back. Emil Kraft scored, and then we just collapsed and rolled over, and they beat us 4-1. It felt a little bit like that yesterday. Lesser teams than us on paper and in terms of money spent will go to Anfield and win this season, and have done. Teams that we've beaten narrowly have trounced Liverpool, but we just cannot do it. We couldn't do it. Positives in terms of performance, I thought Lewis Hall was good. Anthony Gordon has that monkey off his back in terms of getting a first league goal from open play in about 25 years. No, I think it's just over a calendar year from open play. Lewis Hall was good. No fresh injuries. That's about it, really. Kieran Trippier, the most important signing in Newcastle United's history in modern era. I can't speak about Kevin Keegan signing for them in 1982 and other players of such like, Super Mac and all those sort of players, Alan Shearer. But in terms of value for money, influence, importance, Kieran Trippier's up there, right? I am convinced, because he was the first signing under the new ownership. If Kieran Trippier didn't sign, I don't think Bruno Guimaraes signs. I think Dan Burn would have came, and probably Chris Wood would have came, but Bruno Guimaraes doesn't sign. Kieran Trippier was a league title holder in La Liga. International experience, playing in European football for Atletico Madrid, and chose to come to us. I'm forever grateful for that, but he is costing us at the minute. At right back, bless him. And he's 35 years old, for Christ's sake, 35 years old. But I don't think we can continue to keep playing him at right back. Now, I know he's only just returned, but we're asking him to get up that pitch and support someone who's so devoid of confidence in Anthony Elanga, and then the ball's turned over and Trippier cannot get back in time. Like, I'll give Malik Thiaw criticism for that second Ekitike goal. But my word, where's Trippier? Where's the right back? But then you've seen numerous times in the past few weeks, he's defending the whole right-hand side of the pitch on his own. The third goal, Florian Wirtz, and then who scored the fourth? Oh, Kanate. I'm not going to go into their goals. Wirtz was a great finish, tidy on the edge of the box. You could see exactly what was going to happen, and it was goal. Kanate, it reminded me of the Romero overhead kick in terms of he gets a rubbish connection on it, but it somehow trickles past 2 or 3 Newcastle players, and Nick Pope slips and scrambling, and there we go. Like I said, fair play to Kanate with his circumstances with his family recently. Nice for him that he got that goal, but that was the nail in the coffin. As soon as Wirtz scored the third, I texted my mate Brad and said, that's it, game over. Kick in the dick. Standard annual competency at Liverpool. Get done. There we go. I'm going to do another video tomorrow. There was some worrying comments from Eddie Howe in that press conference that made me think there's something else going on here. There's another plan. And my video tomorrow, I'm going to explore some things I'm thinking, none of which I think I 100% believe, but conspiracy session, there are things that make you think, does that make sense? Does that explain why? Yada, yada, yada. But anyway, I thought I'd get this one out of the way and enjoy the rest of the day. But it's so worrying that we lose, that we pay, best part of 130 million for 2 strikers. They come on together and just do not affect the game in any way. Now, I know they can't do it by themselves, but the mad thing is, we're still only a few going on a winning run away from getting near that top 6 again. But it's slipping now. It's slipping further and further. What a week. Lose against Villa. Feel a draw that felt like a win against PSG, and then back down at Anfield. Got Man City away on Wednesday. Can't wait. Was it Tuesday? And you got your games against Karabag coming up. February is a make or break month. If we survive February intact, I'll be very, very surprised, but very happy. However, we could come out of February out of both cups, out of the Champions League, and in mid-table in the Prem. Who knows? But in Eddie we trust, in the players we trust. I'm glad we got that Anfield out the way. Because the season we beat Brighton and Bournemouth home and away and win at Anfield, we'll win the league, no doubt. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you later.